Okay, the next rule we will look at is dividing indices. So if I have a look at a problem here, I'm going to use letters in this example. So if I have a to the power of 5 and I divide it by a to the power of 2, or a squared, I want to figure out what this is going to be like. Please be aware that when we're doing a division like this, you can also represent it vertically like a fraction. So a to the power of 5 divided by a squared. And this actually is a better way of setting things out. I'm going to prove to you what the answer is using expanded notation. So if I go ahead and do this, I know that a to the power of 5 is a 5 times. It's got to be multiplied together. So there's my a to the power of 5 over, and then when I have a look at the bottom, I know I've got a times a. That's what a squared means. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to do some cancelling. When we cancel, what we're actually doing is we're dividing the top and the bottom of this fraction by the same thing. So that's an important part to recognise. So I'm just going to write that. So cancelling means to divide the top and bottom by the same number. Okay. So when we do this here, I've got a letter, so there's no number, but that's okay. I'm going to treat the a like a letter. So I can see that I can divide by a in the top and I can divide by a in the bottom. What is a divided by a? Well, that's just 1, so that gets rid of one of those a's there. And then down here, what is a divided by a? Well, that's also just 1. If I do it again, because I've got more a's there, I'm going to divide by a again. So what's a divided by a? Oh, that's just 1. And if I divide by a in the bottom, again, I just get 1. Now there are no more a's in the bottom, so I can't go further. So my final answer to this one then, a to the 5 divided by a squared, is going to be, I've got 3 a's right there, none in the bottom. It's actually just 1 times 1 in the bottom. So I could write my answer as a cubed, a to the power of 3, over 1, or we could just write it as a cubed. Now, some of you might be already cottoning on to what the rule is. You'll notice that if I go 5 minus 2, I get this answer 3. And that pattern works for every single division of indices that we do. So I could set this out using the index law like this. So if I have a to the 5 divided by a squared, that will equal a to the 5 minus 2. And that's just going to give me an answer of a cubed. So that's using that rule. So if I summarise the general rule for you for division, we get something that looks like this. So again, a to the power of m divided by a to the power of n. That's simply going to equal a to the m minus n. And that is the general rule there for division. Now, if you're struggling following this, can I suggest that you go back and you have a look at the expanded form and how that cancels, because you will never get it wrong if you do that. Once you understand that thoroughly, you'll find that you'll be able to apply this rule much more easily. So we're going to do exercise 3.1. We're still on page 138, and now we're in question 2, and I'm going to ask you again to do the first and third columns. Away you go, people. Whoop, columns, there we go.